What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Take It Slow here, aka Angry Porto, Clancy. You guys know the drill by now. And with us again today is my boy Tiki Taco.
That's me.
I'm not a taco. And yeah, so we are, I don't want to say fresh off E3 because E3 was last night, but we are sort of fresh off just watching an interview with Todd Howard. Yeah, he sat down maybe 2 hours ago. I don't know who the guy is. I'll put the text in the
Some
video.
guy from YouTube.
Yeah, pretty much. Some guy from YouTube. But he did go into a little bit more detail on what Fallout 76 is going to be like. And much to my joy, and I think your joy too, it is absolutely going to be co-op.
Big co-op, folks.
Big co-op. And actually, it might actually be more co-op than we even want it to be. But
Right? It's gonna be co-op and counter-op. Woo!
yeah. Yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit. But one of the first things that in the actual E3 conference, he said like pretty much right off the bat, you can play this solo, and a lot of people were rejoicing. But then we started to think about it. And it's like, well, what do you mean by solo? Does solo mean you can play offline, or do you mean you can play alone against other people? Like that's technically solo.
Right.
And in this interview, he sort of did confirm that there is no offline mode, which again, I don't really know what that means. Does that mean that you are going to be forced to play in an open world with other players, or does that just mean you can play by yourself with no other players, but you have to have an internet connection? No.
I don't think so. I think it's the first one.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think so too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Yeah, and I don't really know how I feel about that. I kind of don't like it, to be honest with you.
Now, okay, so here's what I'll say. When I was looking at it, I mean, I like Fallout. I
Mhm.
like playing the games, and I've had fun with them. But I am not. I don't have 1,400 hours into it like you do. So I'm not in love with Fallout. And so taking, I'm not gonna say a casual fan because I'm a fan, but taking that sort of look at it, it's gonna be. I think it's kind of cool
Mhm.
because it's gonna be more organic and less scripted.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like they're going for, because I mean in the interview he said there's gonna be no NPCs. The NPCs are other players.
Before
Yeah.
before we get too far down another hole, which I do want to talk about that. I think what you just said strikes a nerve, but like I definitely would consider myself a hardcore Fallout fan. And I would not consider you a casual Fallout fan. You've played through quite a bit of the game, and you've done the settlement builds with me now, so you're more invested than a casual fan. So
Sure.
I sort of always have to look at it like this is a spin-off, right? This isn't Fallout 5. So I have to look at it with that mind, because a lot of you probably don't remember way back in the day, but when Fallout 3 first came out, there was a huge schism that formed between the Fallout community, between like the classic Fallout fans, Fallout 1 and 2,
Mm-hmm.
the fans of like the turn-based isometric stuff, and then the new direction that Bethesda was going with their freshly acquired title, this 3D first third person shooter type thing with a little lighter on the RPG, but it was still definitely an RPG, and it still is an RPG now. But that was sort of like the first schism, and I feel like Fallout 76 has the potential to sort of make a schism between these hardcore Bethesda first-person fans that were fans of Fallout 3 and New Vegas and Elder Scrolls and then Fallout 4, and then now we're going to be bringing in this sort of co-op community into everything, or co-op and counter-op, as you astutely put it at the beginning. So that's something I worry about. But I say I don't like it, but I am cautiously optimistic as I was initially about co-op. I think if the PvP element is something that you can opt into and not forced upon you, then I think it'll be fine. Like being in Todd Howard said the map for Fallout 76 was 4 times larger than Fallout 4. So, and if the server that you're playing on only has 10 or so other players on it, and if maybe they'll have something like PvP or PvE servers similar to how a lot of MMOs do it. As long as you give people the choice to participate in PvP or not, I think I'll be okay with it, especially given that this is like I said, this is a spin-off title.
So I mean from what I've gathered from watching him and watching the presentations and stuff, I really don't think that it's going to be opt-in. He did say that they were going to make it so that like griefing wasn't going to be like you're not going to get camped,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing. But I think the whole pull of it and what they're going for is that it's going to be an organic experience. It's going to be one where you're not going to have a permanent settlement because it could get blown up and you have to take it somewhere else.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of it being, contained in this, what's it called? The camp?
Yeah,
What was
yeah.
it called?
Yep, CAMP. They're fucking
So
acronyms.
yeah, that was a quality acronym too, by the way. I don't even remember what it stood for, but when it stood for something, that was great.
Yeah, and for me that kind of sucks to hear because I love building these giant elaborate settlements, but if that's not going to be a part of this game, then that'll kind of suck for me too. But again, it's a spin-off, it's going in a different direction. I have to just accept that, right?
Sure. And something that you could do, like you could have like a co-op experience on an entire server with 40 different people helping to build a gigantic settlement, and you could all do something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The other thing it said too is, I think I remember this from the conference itself. He didn't say just a dozen; he said several dozens. So
Oh
like 50,
shit.
60 people.
Oh god.
But imagine, it's still take the area of Fallout 4 that you play in and then quadruple it. It's a lot of space.
That is, but like if it's like you said, if it's up to, let's just say 48 because that's 4 dozen, right? That's a lot of people, and depending on the new mechanics they introduce in this game, like I don't think there'll be vehicles. Bethesda doesn't really do vehicles very well, but like imagine if there were vehicles and like we think that's a lot of space, but you can run from Sanctuary Hills to the Glowing Sea or the bottom right corner of the map, whatever the fuck's down there, I can't remember. You can run there in like 5-10 minutes, so it's not that
You
much
can run there in
space.
10 minutes?
Maybe I'll record I'll record a video, see how long it actually takes. But granted, yeah, when I do it, I'm running with like jetpacks and stuff, so I'm able to sort of path of the crows, whatever that's called. What's that saying? Like as the crow flies, I'm sort of able
Yeah,
to just
that's what I'm
travel
talking about.
directly. But it's not Fallout 4 world space is not as big as it seems. But I guess 4 times bigger is 4 times bigger, so it's a lot bigger. So
Yeah.
obviously it can house a lot more players, but
Yeah.
I worry about the wasteland, especially the fresh wasteland, feeling too occupied.
I think that'll be that certainly like the launch. If you play it on launch, if everyone is spawning from the same vault, I mean, it's not going to be Reclamation Day by yourself like it's supposed to be in
Yeah,
the trailer. You're going to have 50 other people in there with you.
yeah.
The other thing, I mean, how is it going to carry over from session to session? Are you going to have a character saved to a server? Or, I mean, he said no, right? He said that you're not going to have that sort of like server lock. Like you're not even going to see servers when you log in if you're just going to, log in and play the game.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't even know how they're going to be able to figure that out. But hey, yeah, hands up in the air. Let's see what happens when they bring it out.
Yeah.
I'm really excited because I mean, it just seems like if you just kind of take it for what it is and don't have expectations for a Fallout 5 and you're like, man, but I wanted it to be like this, and you can just kind of go, well, I didn't know about Fallout 76 before like 2 weeks ago, and now I'm figuring it out. Eh, let's just look at it with an open mind and go into it.
Absolutely, yeah. And I do feel like this is an opportunity for Bethesda to sort of open their arms and bring in even more players like yourself who, as we've said in other videos, right? Like the only thing that would make Fallout better for you is co-op and you and I used to play ranked heroes all the time, so we're no strangers to PvP. So I'm not
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm not like fearful of PvP. I worry sort of about the immersion breaking aspects that will come with it.
If I'm not gonna say play devil's advocate, but just because I feel like Fallout 76 has the potential to be really cool and really fun and really different, I would say something like this: what's the difference between a gang of raiders and a gang of other players
Other players are going to be
roving through the
smarter.
wasteland?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might make it way more fun
Yeah, you're
to
right.
get ambushed by raiders while you're trying to hunt down a giant sloth.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right?
and that speaks to what you said earlier about there being no NPCs present. I sort of wonder how literal that means. Like, are there literally going to be no towns, no quest hubs? Like, the only people you're going to see are you or other players.
That kind of sounds like what I think they're gonna do. Yeah,
So most of the game then, so we'll have those.
will be built organically
Yeah,
by
and
players.
and we'll have these PvP encounters with players, or I guess we're also I think it's a fair
You're
thing.
assuming that everyone wants to be a dick to you, too.
Yeah, well, I think that's a fair thing to assume in online games. Come on.
I-
But there will be,
Not everyone,
yeah,
but
right.
yeah, there will be dicks.
There will be moments too, especially if it's you, me, and Max and Zaya playing. There will be moments where like the four of us are going to run into like one or two other people, and depending on how well we're geared, they probably won't want to fuck with us, and maybe they'll join us or something like that. So there will be great moments like that, undoubtedly. But it seems like the rest of the game then is going to be this sort of PvE dungeon crawl slash like hub fighting combat against mostly just creatures.
I'd be down with that for the most part. And then you're gonna have factions, right? That's what the whole point of them wanting to do this. You're gonna have factions that players start, i.e., like sort of guild stuff.
Yeah.
And then you guys, try to build stuff together and make enemies or make friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it has potential to be pretty cool.
It does. It definitely does have potential to be very cool. I guess I guess it's like sort of just the old, grouchy Fallout player in me that's like, nah, this isn't my Fallout. See, nah.
I've seen a lot of there's like a hashtag on YouTube going around that says that too. Not my Fallout.
Not my Fallout. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. People I think jump the gun too quickly. I mean, if I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna buy it. I assume you're probably gonna play it and buy it. We'll play it on launch, and if it's dog shit, then we'll call it dog shit. But if it's if it's just fun but different, then there's that element too. And I guess I just wonder too with no NPCs how they're gonna do, because Todd Howard did say there is a storyline. I wonder how that's going to come about. But
it might be that the bombs dropped and there's irradiated creatures that you got to kill.
Mm-hmm.
Or that they're, because he said that they were going to incorporate a lot of like West Virginia folklore into it. Maybe it's you have to go to 6 areas and kill 6 of the different folklore enemies like Mothman. And I don't know if there's a sloth one, because we've seen the giant sloth. That looks pretty funny.
Shit. Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic. And the thing is, we still don't really know. Like, I guess we've seen gameplay clips, but we haven't really seen any like extended gameplay tutorial, like official gameplay tutorials from them. So once those come out, we'll get to see a bit more on what this game is actually like.
Maybe we can even hop into the beta.
I don't like betas.
You're not gonna do that?
I don't like to spoil it for me. I like the first time to be the official time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if that's something would interest you. That'd be cool if you hopped into it and then you're the one who knows all about it, telling me, I'm like, wait, this is Fallout. What happened? How do you know more about Fallout than I do? Fuck off.
Yeah, that would be a role reversal, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be. Let's see, what else did I write? And then there won't be modding present, but there will be modding support down the line. I was glad to see that Todd Howard knows that the life of a lot of Bethesda games, particularly Skyrim and Fallout 4, and even Fallout 3 New Vegas, like it's all extended and only helped by external mod support. So yeah. I was happy to see that, even if it won't be in launch. I understand this is a whole multiplayer experience that they haven't done yet, so they want to make sure that that's working before they introduce all these third-party variables. But I was happy to see that that'll be coming back, and I wonder if whenever that comes out, some sort of offline mode will come out, so that yes, all right, well, we have our online co-op shit that we do, but then I have my offline stuff where I actually get to like build these really cool settlements to show people. Because yeah, like you mentioned, there isn't really going to be, I don't foresee a way to be building these massive intricate settlements that don't end up getting wiped out somehow.
And from my perspective, that sounds really cool. I know from your perspective, where you love to build elaborate settlements and say like, this is my house. To have your house nuked, I assume, would make you a little grumpy.
Yeah, it would. But I mean, I think they said that it'll all be in the camp, so I suppose that if I get to work on it offline and then I save it and then you drop it in the real world and you sort of get to see how, like, hey, how viable is this settlement,
That sounds really cool to me too.
Yeah.
Like you could go offline, or not offline, but you could go to your own server, build a camp, and then, I don't know, you go into the whichever server that you're playing live on, gather all the materials, throw it in the camp, and then poof, it pops up, and then you go, hey guys, check out Fort Porto. The Angry Forto.
It's just surrounded by walls with Deathclaw hands poking out.
Deathclaw hands and laser turrets.
That's right.
Deathclaw hands shooting lasers.
I think, how about Deathclaw turrets? They're just turrets that shoot Deathclaw hands.
There'd be junk jets
Exactly.
just shooting Deathclaw hands.
Junk jets filled with Deathclaw hands. Yeah.
That would be my fortress.
That would be Fort Tiki. It's like, what the fuck? And then they get inside and there's nothing there. It's just empty.
It's just absolutely nothing. No, it's just piles of Deathclaw hands being sucked into a vacuum to be shot out of cannons.
And I don't know if he said this last night or if this was in the interview, but he did say that they would allow private servers, which is cool. But then again, it seems to me like it's like, oh, okay, so I have to pay for my own server to play by myself. Huh. Okay. I mean, I like the option. Like, more options is always better for me. So, if someone wants to do that, maybe I'll do it because I'll be like, I'm sick of people destroying my castles. Yeah, I am really interested to see again how they get away with this with no NPCs. That's just I like can't even fathom it. Like, what do you do? What do we do? I worry about like a Sea of Thieves type scenario where they want all this organic content to be made by players, but then it just kind of no one does. But it seems like the bones that they have going into Fallout 76 is good for making that happen. Like they have the base building mechanic, and then they have all these shit. What the hell was I saying? It's gone. It's gone. Goodbye. Goodbye, thought. Farewell.
You were worried about NPCs and not having them, and that the system is built to compensate.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, like, I don't know if you've heard much about Sea of Thieves, but apparently, like, it's that open world pirate game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, it just struggles from lack of content because there's kind of no way. Like, the only interactions are interactions between players, but like there are NPCs and shit to kill, of course, but like there's nothing else really. Like, going into Fallout 76, we'll have that building mechanic, we'll have that nuke mechanic, and then we have the open world filled with creatures. So we already have more systems in place to make that organic, emergent gameplay that people get their pussies so wet about. So,
something that I haven't seen a whole lot of people compare it to yet is something like EVE Online. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be the scope of EVE Online, but EVE Online was kind of the flagship for player-created content, like organic player interactions as being the whole point of the game.
mm-hmm.
Obviously, this is going to be a Fallout game, and it's going to have the Fallout coat of paint on it. But I mean, if anyone's ambitious enough to kind of put something together like that, EVE Online Lite in a Fallout universe, realistically, is probably going to be more like Rust. So this does the gameplay and stuff that we've seen so far does echo Rust pretty hard. So
shit, I have to research Rust, man. I still don't know. Like, all I've heard about it is from what you said.
Yeah, go take a look sometime. It does look like what Rust wanted to be.
And obviously, Fallout going into it has the power of the brand behind it. So and I don't know what publisher or dev Rust is from, but
I think Rust is an indie developer.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that though. Pretty sure.
So Bethesda will at least have the means and resources that an indie wouldn't have to make it something bigger,
Exactly.
So yeah, TLDR, there is no offline. Yeah, there is no offline. There is no offline mode. At least not yet. And yeah, we'll sort of see how that works. I'm a little apprehensive about it, but like you said, if they do it right, it has the potential to be something really cool, and something that can bring in, not that you were outside the series already, but I have a feeling that this could be Tiki's favorite Fallout, even if it's not mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Word, brother. You got anything else?
I think that's mostly all of the thoughts I had on it.
Cool. Good stuff. Yeah, we'll wait and see, and then you'll all see as well, because we'll be having plenty of videos up here on it, of all our West Virginia shenanigans.
I'll play it naked.
Of course you will. I would expect no less.
Not naked. Suspenders and a straw hat. I will also have my sister in my lap.
Did you say your sister?
Yeah.
Oh God.
So that's what they do. That's what they do in Virginia.
That's West Virginia, yeah. That's their motto.
So,
We fuck our family, so you can't.
that's right.
I don't think that's their real motto, and I'm sorry if you're from West Virginia. Much love.
It's a beautiful place.
It's a beautiful
need to
family
stop
fucking
having
state. It is the top state for family fucking in the country, bar none.
If you're gonna give birth to someone with incest,
Head to West
then
Virginia.
it might as well be
Oh god,
plenty of space for it.
we got to end this before I get like thousands of hate email from West Virginians. All right, guys, thanks for
Dude,
watching.
that would be awesome if you had that many views.
Right? 1,000 views and 1,001 dislikes. It's like, what? It's like, yeah, I didn't like my own video either.
Remember, any publicity is good publicity.
That's right. You nailed it. You nailed it. Oh, shit. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. This has been Take It Slow, a.k.a. Angry Porto Clancy. You guys know the drill by now. That is too long. I got to trim it, but I'm never good. I'm not good at trimming it. And joining me today has been my boy, Tiki Taco.
I am not a taco.
Not a taco. Thanks for watching, guys. And yeah, we'll be covering Fallout 76 on this channel until it pops in November, and then we'll be let's playing and highlighting and doing all kinds of video shenanigans. So until then, we'll just be talking about it in our mom's basements. Just kidding.
I don't live with my parents anymore.
Neither do I. This is my basement. I paid for this basement, and you don't live in a basement. You live on like the second floor.
Yep.
So that analogy totally irrelevant. All right, we're done now. Peace.
Peace.
Take it slow.